Hello and welcome to Bluebit, where we don't have intros. Today we're going to be making Fall Guys in Mario Maker 2 as a 4-player multiplayer versus level. Let's go! Alright, while this time-lapse is going on, let me explain a few things. For those of you that don't know, Fall Guys is a battle royale game with up to 60 players where you play randomly selected minigames in hopes of going on to the next round. After everyone is eliminated, the person that's left is the winner. Now, you might be wondering what minigames I'm going to try to put into the level. Well, I've planned out 6 different minigames that I think I can recreate in Mario Maker 2. The windy obstacle course whirligig, the hole-in-the-wall rip-off block party, the infuriating game seesaw, the chaotic race gate crash, the ultimate game of tag royal fumble, and what some people believe to be the best minigame in Fall Guys, hexagon. In the first minigame, one of the 4 players will be eliminated. Then, in the second minigame, one of the remaining 3 players will be eliminated. Then, in the final minigame, one person will win. Alright, let's go see how the level is coming along. Progress. Lots and lots of progress. Let me show you what I've made so far, and I'll explain it all. The first thing you notice are these claws, and they are there for apparently no reason, but their real purpose is to help with randomization, and we will get to that later on. The real star of the show is this multiplayer mode detection system. So let me explain this to you. It's kind of complicated, so I'm gonna gloss over a few things, but the big idea is that in multiplayer modes, more than one mushroom comes out of question mark blocks, and in single player modes, only one does. So in single player mode, one mushroom will come out and nothing will happen. But in multiplayer mode, two mushrooms will come out, and because of this, it will trigger this bomb, and this cannon will fall down, allowing you to go into the pipe. The pipe is where all the, the actual level is, but if you're going through single player, you can just go through that door, the end of that door. So if you're playing single player, it'll just poop you out right next to the goalpost. So that is basically how it works. And through the pipe, we have this minigame selection area, and it is all random because of this clown car. You see, when the clown car hits the spikes, it will either go left, hitting that shell, or going right, hitting that shell. And when the shell hits this, it'll drop down the cannons and open the path to go to the pipes, and those will have the minigames in them. Alright, the round 1 minigames are very simple, so I'm just gonna show you each of them individually. This is the recreation of the whirligig, which is a race with a bunch of propellers, and as you can see, if you fall down, then you have to go all the way back. That's how I simulated falling off in the races. In this, you just fall down. These are supposed to show propellers, so we have the first one and then the 3 ones. And this is the split path, where the top half is faster and risky, and the bottom path is slower but safer. The other starting minigame is Block Party, and it's really simple. All you have to do is jump over these bullet blasters to not fall down into that pit over there. The biggest bullet blaster is that 5-block one, so you do have to have a running start for it. And the way this works is that if one person falls off, then it triggers a P-switch, and then it will start an infinite P-switch timer, as you can see up there. And the P-blocks up here are supposed to not let anyone else down once one person has fallen. so they can get back up. And that also opens up the door so that they can go into the next minigame. Now this next part might be the most complicated thing I have ever made in Mario Maker 2. Not exaggerating. But, so because of that, I'm just gonna go through it very, very simplistically. You see, this is supposed to check that all 3 players are here and that a 4th player can't get in. And when all 3 players are ready, then it's supposed to let them go into the next randomizer to choose the next minigame. But we don't know that all 3 players are here at the exact same time. So you can build setups like this at the beginning because you know that everyone is there at that time. But here we don't have that luxury. So we have to have these tests to know that everyone is there and then trigger something that lets them go in. So let's say person 1 walks into this room. Now, the first thing you can see is that the platform goes up and blocks anyone else from going in. So there is 1 person per room. Now, the person number 1 will hit this question mark block, and that will trigger a shell. Now, person 2 comes along and goes in this one. Now, they hit a question mark block, and that will hit up a P-switch. Now, the last player comes in and hits this on-off block. Now, as you can see, that causes the muncher to fall down. So, if the second player hit this question mark block, then that muncher will be down and it will cause a P-switch to trigger. And then it will turn this P block into a dotted P block, and that will let the shell pass through. And then, basically, the shell will go down. It will hit this question mark block, triggering that bomb, and the same with these 2, then go in here and get crushed so that we don't have to worry about a shell traveling. Now, this was my reaction to when all of this worked. Yes! Yes, it didn't... Oh my god! Oh, thank God it works. That took way too long. That took far too long. After that, we have another randomizer. We have seen this before, so let's move on to the next minigames. This is Seesaw, and just like the original, it is very, very annoying. So if you don't know, it should be pretty obvious, but Seesaw is a game where you have to tilt seesaws to go across and get to different areas. So I've recreated it, and in single player, it's not that bad, but when 2 other people are with you, it gets really, really dumb. And we have the same mechanic that if you fall down, then you go a lot further back. So, yeah, it's a fun, balanced game. The other round 2 minigame is Gate Crash. So I recreated it again with bullet blasters with coins in them. They are really useful tools because they're just movable walls and they don't kill you if you put coins in them. This is the last slide to get to the end, and it's a lot harder than you might think, and when you're racing against 2 other people, it's gonna be pretty tricky to get in there on time. And then we have another check to see that both players are ready, and thankfully this one is a lot simpler. We have the P-switch and the on-off block, and they both go into the final round. The first finale minigame is a recreation of Royal Fumble. So at the beginning of the game, 1 random person will get a key, and then they will have to try and keep the key, and the other person will try to take it from them. So eventually, a P-switch will start, and it will start another infinite P-switch timer, but more importantly, it will open up a way to go into this key door, and whoever goes into that key door first wins. Now, there is one final minigame, and it would not be a good representation of Fall Guys without Hexagon. So here it is. This is it. This is all the Hexagon is, right? Yeah? Okay, in all seriousness, there is some work behind the scenes. Not only do we have a similar setup to what we had in Block Party so that the door can open when the P-switch expires, but I didn't make all of them winged to make it longer, and that is because in multiplayer versus, blue tiles can respawn, but it takes them a while. So by having all of the floor go faster, then it won't have time to respawn, and then everything will go faster. Alright, this is it, the clear check, where we get to see all the fruits of our labor one final time. Let's play this epic level. It's not great in single player, obviously. Well, anyways, this has been Bluebit, and we still don't have outros.